Hello, welcome to Critical Free Podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Tyler.
Welcome.
Right, so this is our podcast number 3. Obviously, this one is our actors one. We are focusing on, I believe it's one of your favourite actors, Josh. Casey Affleck.
Yeah, Casey Affleck, one of my Oh no, God, what am I doing?
We got a Looney Tune in tonight. that was going so well. I'm keeping the same, so you better recover, mate.
One of my many favourite actors.
There.
Just get a picture of a motorbike down there, please. Right.
Have you ever seen the video of that black guy? He's on the woods. That's what you sound like. Every syllable could set him up. Oh. Right. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Serious.
Do you want to start that again?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, guys, welcome. This is obviously our third podcast in our actor special. Our first one was Leonardo DiCaprio. Our second was one of my favourite actors, Tom Hardy. Got him in there. And obviously this one is now one of your favourite, Casey Affleck.
Indeed. Yeah. One of my many favourite actors.
Yes. Yeah.
Might say that time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so obviously me personally, I don't know much about Casey Affleck. It's bad. I've just finished watching, again, the film you recommended, Josh, today, Manchester by the Sea.
It wasn't just me who recommended it, was it, mate?
No, it was Liam, Jack.
Yeah, it wasn't just me. Don't blame me for your hate of the film.
Oh, well, let's not ruin it.
Let's
not ruin it yet.
I'm giving too much away.
Giving it away. I might love it, we don't know yet. But no, this was highly recommended by us, Josh, our friends Jack and Liam as well. They went to watch it with you. I was the one that didn't go. But yeah, so yeah, Josh, let's obviously, you know, again, he's one of your favourite actors. Tell me a bit more and how you feel about Manchester by the Sea, and then I'll give you mine.
All right. Yeah. Manchester by the Sea, it's like a sad film, isn't it? Sad. It's obviously about mourning, isn't it? So it's obviously going to be quite sad and powerful.
It touches on a subject that not many films, well, especially not films I've ever watched, dive quite deeply into it. It's obviously the main thing about the film, isn't it? This time around. So rather than obviously any other film, it's normally towards the end of the film where the grief is, isn't it? Yeah.
Whereas this one, it's the things about.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is the main point of the film, which, like I said, I've never seen a film like this. From what I knew, Manchester by the Sea. I kind of the reason I didn't go first, should I say, give a bit of backstory, is I kind of didn't feel it would be my type of film, and it didn't pique my interest at the time. I kind of knew the concept. I obviously knew he had Casey Affleck's character had something to do with his nephew, and that's literally as much as I knew. I didn't know. Yeah. I knew he had a problem. Again, I didn't know what it was. Now, obviously, before I kind of go into a bit more my view on this, obviously you're going to give more on the second film of Casey Affleck, which is Gone Baby Gone.
Gone Baby Gone,
yeah. Like you, like for you, Josh, just a bit, just sum this film up for you. Right, if you just to sum it up, like obviously, you know, from what you said earlier before the podcast, you said this is one of your favourite films.
Yeah, so it's one of my favourite films, but I'd say one of my favourite drama films.
Okay.
Obviously put it into, again, genres. And I would say it's a film where, obviously, it's about grief. It's about how they handle it. And they handle it, like you said before, actually, you said they handle it very differently to how you would handle it.
Yeah.
And it is a different look. It is a different outlook on how to handle grief, I guess. But it's very once you've kind of finished watching the film, in a sense, I guess like a book, you put the film down and you've done. That's it,
Yeah.
and you kind of constantly thinking about it. When you have someone to talk about it to,
Mm.
a lot rolls off, and you might think after. I know I did, and I think you did as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
You might think
Yeah.
after not much happened in the film,
Yeah.
it was a bit like stale throughout. But actually, when you talk about it, for me personally, when you talk about it, you realise actually you've got a lot to talk about here, and there's a lot of different subjects that they touch on throughout.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I I agree with you. Kind of going into my, like I said, back onto my view on this film. You know, it's it was weird because it is one of those films. Obviously, especially after talking to more with you about it, I have kind of reflected more. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest. This film is not for me, and I gave it. I went in with an open mind. I gave it a chance, and I think I wanted to like it probably as much as you did. Um,
I think though you will grow to like it.
let's see, that'd be
Like
interesting.
I did because I grew to like it, mate.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was not as harsh as you on it
No.
when I first watched it, but I still was a bit like, all right.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about it. That's
Yeah.
how I would. I don't know what emotion that is, but it's some sort of
It's
emotion,
a
isn't it?
emotion.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. So, but yeah, I think it will grow on you, mate. In come time,
Yeah.
you'll wanna watch it again. And I know that this time you're like, I couldn't watch that again. Like, another 2.5 hours of my life.
You know what? If I was looking at this, for me, looking at this, and I said this to you earlier when I was thinking of reviewing this, I would look at it from a kind of aspect of someone who loves the art of filmmaking, loves the art of acting. Now, visually, there's kind of a unique look to this film that I've never seen in any other film, and that's how it's shot. There's and I'll tell you this: there's the first scene in the entire film where it's just the boat that's
But yeah,
moving in the sea, and it's a fixed shot of the boat. The camera never moves. The boat never. It's kind of think you've got the boat in the middle, and then you've got a border around this boat. It's like the border's moving, but the distance between the
yeah,
edge and the boat never moves, and it's
yeah,
such a fantastic shot. And I'm saying the visualization and the locations and how this is filmed, it is a stunning looking film. It's unique, and it helps with the storytelling. It is kind of like a visualization story kind of piece in a sense. So yeah, obviously that's definitely a praise I'll give it there. Again, Casey Affleck, I personally don't know much about the guy. It wasn't till halfway through the film that I realised that he was in American Pie. I knew he was out of Summit, and it his voice it is quite unique.
yeah.
As his performance goes, because obviously what you mentioned earlier, a lot of the grief and stuff like that is not how I personally would have reacted to what was going on. Obviously, I knew that he closed himself from life and and people and stuff. Again, won't give too many spoilers if you've not watched the film. Obviously, I knew he closed himself from that, but I found it hard to watch and kind of hard to. I just really liked the character. I wanted to, and I kind of. I don't know. I found it hard and confusing. I was confused a lot with this movie, and I think that's why I kind of, when I first come to you, I said, "Look, I don't get it." I even said, I even went as far as saying that it was boring. Now that was harsh. Some parts for me, I still feel but some of the best bits again is all the stuff he does with his nephew. Even the stuff with the nephew on his own, the band practice scenes, his multiple girlfriend scenes, because in a way that's kind of how he's handling the grief.
Mm. You commented on the scene, didn't you, where it's quite an awkward interaction between one of his girlfriend's mum and Casey Affleck's character in it, where they sat downstairs, and obviously, his nephew and one of his girlfriends kind of trying to have it off. So he's told him to come into the house so that he can distract the mum, keep the mum out. But because he's kind of socially awkward, he can't hold a conversation.
No.
So he's trying to hold a conversation for his nephew, so his nephew can have it off with his missus. But obviously, it's kind of hard because he's a bit socially awkward, isn't
he? Yeah, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I found that scene really hard to watch.
But as I said to you before, that is the point of the scene. That's the point. Any feelings that you had of the film, that's the point of the scenes, because obviously it, like I say, socially awkward. So you should feel awkward that he's being awkward, because he is being awkward, but he can't help the fact that he's being awkward, because in the end of the day, he's separated himself from the world for so long, and all he's done is, when he's left the house, he's done his job, and then he's gone back to his house. He shoveled snow. That's about it.
Yeah.
But
I totally thought you were going to say something else then.
Oh right, wow.
Oh well.
We'll move on quickly.
I said I do. It is one of the films. The more you talk about it, the more you can kind of see. Should I say the good in it? Now I've watched Mark Kermode's review on this. I've also watched another YouTuber who reviews films. His look on this as well. Just because I heard your review, I've heard Jack's. I don't remember too much of Liam's. Liam's a man of many words. Well, I say man of many words sometimes, and few. And I kind of wanted to get their look on it, and they loved it. They praised it as high heaven. They called it a masterpiece. Would I call it a masterpiece? I'm going to definitely not at this moment in time. Like for me,
although
The Shining's a masterpiece for me.
Yeah, it's a very different film, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's something that changed the genre at the time, isn't it? Whereas this is obviously, it's still staying on the same genre as a lot of films, but I would say in terms of acting and characters, they're very different to what.
Yeah, but
drama you'd be used to.
Yeah, but wouldn't you say though, unless obviously like us, unless you have a passion for film and acting and the art of that, unless you have a passion for that or studied anything like that, or a film critic or review of anything like that, don't you think that this film is one of those that would go straight under the radar for normal public?
Now, yes, because I have.
So the only people that are obviously calling it amazing is people that are interested in that kind of stuff.
See, but that being said, I have told some of my mates at work and other places that this film exists, and they've gone, "Oh, I've never heard of it." But I've told them to go out of the way and watch it. I've even lent the DVD to them to watch it, and they said it was very good and they enjoyed it. But that's because the people that I recommended it to, I know would enjoy it, which is very similar to how I thought you would be, Tyler. Because I know, I
enjoy parts of it, but I enjoy the more artistic side of the film, and I enjoy the more artistic side as the story goes, and it's just a film in general. If I was just looking at this as just a film, then obviously we have two totally different views on it. If I was looking at this again, artistic side and how it was filmed, how it was shot, and kind of some areas of development, and so that's them bits are great.
But I do think it is a film of layers, mate. Not necessarily overly dramatic layers, but it is a film of layers. They go through different stages of grief. Obviously, at the start, you have the nephew who, obviously, his dad does die, which obviously you see in the trailer, so that isn't a spoiler.
No.
But
I didn't know that bit.
You've watched the film, mate.
Give me the evils.
But yeah, so his nephew, so the dad's son, he goes through very tough man stage, I find.
At the beginning.
At the start, yeah.
Yeah,
He goes
yeah.
for like a very tough man. Oh, my dad was a lovely guy, he's gone now, that's it. And then it slowly breaks down, doesn't it? It's
It's the
tough that
scene where with the freezer.
with the freezer, with where he goes to go and see him in the
Mm.
freezer, when he like goes in and he goes nope, 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 like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like he uncovers his face, doesn't he, a little bit, the guy,
Yeah.
the morgue guy, and then he's like, nope, I'm out of here straight away, because he doesn't want to see it, because he's and deep down inside he's hurting for it, but he doesn't want to show it.
Yeah.
And then obviously, like you say, slowly and slowly things happen.
Yeah.
And the freezer scene is the sparking point of him breaking down completely into.
Yeah. Well, like I said, see, it's actually weird because I'm actually kind of going back on what I was just about to say. Going on what you've just said, it's if you remember the piece of dialogue, Casey Affleck says to his nephew, "You don't have to see him because you might not want that image in your mind."
The last image, yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Last
obviously,
image
that's obviously seems the case, and then obviously breaks down. But what I was actually gonna kind of say after this regarding the film is, if I think the one thing that let the film down for me the most, like all the rest I can forgive. There's bits, again, more I've talked about it, more I think about it. It is an okay film. There's some really great bits in there. There's some really great bits in there. There's some really okay bits, and then there's some bad bits. But I think the thing that just did it for me, that kind of made me use the word saying that I'm boring, would probably, again, I think you might totally disagree with me on this, would be the dialogue.
Yeah, but it's not. Again, it's a film where it's not over dramatized, so the dialogue is very natural. And
Yeah,
that would be.
yeah. Like the naturalistic side, it is fine. It doesn't bother me. But I think if you really analyze it, there's some, and obviously again, you can totally disagree. I think there's just a few lines where the dialogue's awful. I think there's
Now,
some
have
really
you got
good
an
lines.
example where you think that's awful?
One, there's that Kleenex bit where the nurse.
See, yeah.
You knew I was going to say that.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, where there's the bit, because I can remember at the minute, there's a bit where the nurse says to, obviously, the friend of the guy who's just died, Kleenex. Do you want some Kleenex? He's like, yeah, he's crying. And then she goes to the back, she's like, anyone got any Kleenex? And it's just like, well, in the UK we call it tissue, It's like Kleenex, was that done for advertisement, or was it's just a bit weird? It just seemed weird in kind of what had just happened.
I think that's maybe American, because maybe they would, like we go, oh, can you pass me the sellotape? That's their brand name.
Yeah, but what else would you call it?
Tape. But you say sellotape, and sellotape is the brand name of the product.
Yeah.
You call it by that.
Yeah. Okay, and then there's another line again. I wouldn't know about looking about, but I think it's a line between Casey Affleck and I actually want to say the mum of one of the girls that the nephew's trying to get in bed with. It was just weird. There was just something that was just weird. And obviously as well, another thing with that hospital scene with the Kleenex that kind of made it weird for me was the positioning of that shot. There's 4 people and they're lined up literally like as a 4 that you would see on a dice. It's just, they all just stood there. It looked very awkward. Now it would be, because obviously someone's passed away and the doctor's giving the information and stuff like that. But compare it to kind of any other film that gives that kind of news, or any hospital drama that gives that news. Okay, hospital TV is a bit more dramatised, but there's it just seemed really unnatural.
Now, I disagree with that, because it is, yes, it is unnatural. I do agree. that is probably the most unnatural scene. But there's a reason for that, because obviously Casey Affleck's character comes, he's not crying, he's not upset, he's straight to the point. Have you called this person? Have you done this? We need to let so and so know. Have you done that? Yeah, I've done that. Yeah, you don't need to worry about that. They want a bit like, oh, this is a really weird way of dealing with it, which it is, because again, it's socially awkward. And it's had the ride up. I think it was like, what was it, like 50-minute ride up to Manchester from Boston, where he was. So it's had that time to deal with the loss anyway, I guess.
Yeah, of course. But I'm not just talking about kids. I'm also thinking the doctor's in that as well. The nurse.
But that's because they don't know how to act around him. Everyone is unnatural. Everyone is not who they are when dealing with like grief. You wouldn't burst out on a joke, would you? If someone went, "Oh, by the way, my dad's just died." Oh, that's a joke. Your dad was a joke guy. Also, you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't. You do instantly act unnatural, because you're like, oh, man.
Yeah,
but not faking your reaction. You still have that reaction, but you kind of don't know what to say. You don't have anything naturally that comes to you, and you go, oh, sorry. Well, for me anyway, I don't. When someone says that, I'm like, whoa, it's like a shock, isn't it?
Yeah.
So then you're finding things to say. It's that sort of thing.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Obviously, Case Affleck's response and so forth, but the doctor and the nurse, they could have acted more professional. I thought there was a professional way of dealing with it. Okay, the doctor's not going to go, oh, yeah, your brother's dead, but it's tea coffee machine down there. Obviously, he's not going to say anything like that, but, it's kind of like, look, I'm really sorry, it's downstairs. Then they'll go off somewhere. It's like they stayed there. It's just weird.
But that's because it's a small town, Manchester, and everybody knows everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the doctors know what happened to Casey Affleck's character, and that he moved away. So it's an instant, and like you said before, you wouldn't necessarily know this at that point, which is why the scene at the time is very like, okay, what's going on here? But then again, layers throughout the film. There's layers built on it. Then now, talking about it right now, you reflect back on it. You add on then the kind of layers that you've learned later down the line, and then you kind of then grasp why it was like that.
What about going forward, a lot forward into the film? There's a scene where he goes into it's like I believe it's a little building where all the boats are, and he's asking them if there's any work, and then it keeps cutting to the woman sat in the back. Black hair, and he goes and she comes out. He says, "I never want him in here again." Now we know why, because obviously of what happened in his past. Again, not going into too much information. None of you've seen it. Now we'll know why, and we can kind of come up with why she would say that. Blaming, she's blaming him as much as he's blaming himself.
Yeah.
But what really was the point in that scene? Because you never see him again. He never goes back. He never gets any work from him. So again.
Yeah, but then that's to justify the reason why he won't get work from him. You know now why they didn't give him work, because she says, "Oh, I never want to see him here again."
Yeah, but as a story, as the film as a whole, it doesn't do anything. Doesn't add anything. It's just a scene again, and then again, it's kind of is going on by the film. Basically, is just it's supposed to be natural. Is going on like everyday life kind of thing. It's I don't know. I think as a whole, after talking about it, like I said, there's definitely some bits in there that are great, like the cinematography I love, but I think it probably could have done with maybe just 20 minutes being snipped off it.
Yeah,
that's my personal thing. Not as bad as what I first said, but
yeah. Do you want ratings and budget and box office, everything like that?
Yeah. So you're the man with the details.
That's our normal segment now.
Yeah.
So for IMDb, we got a 7.8 out of 10 for Manchester by the Sea there. Rotten Tomato, which, as we said before, they're normally quite harsh.
Yeah.
It got 96% on Tomato. The Guardian, which was another one on there. I don't know why that appeared, but that gave it 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
So that's good. Obviously, it was released on in November 2016. Just thought I'd put that out there. And in terms of budget and box office, this is very, very striking.
Okay, I'm looking forward to this.
You'll like this, mate.
Okay.
I think this is probably the most money earner that we've actually done on the podcast.
Okay.
9 million
That's
US dollars for the budget.
okay. So it's 9 million. Yeah.
Yep. 79 million for
Wow.
box office. In terms of obviously percentage,
Yeah.
obviously it's like nearly 8%. Well, 8 times the amount, sorry, of the budget, isn't it? That
Yeah.
it made. So
Yeah, I'm definitely. Pardon me, guys. Whoa, pardon me. It's late night. Yeah, I'm definitely shocked at that.
there you go. So and you said it flew under the radar, but again, it was Oscars season.
Yeah.
So you got to remember, it was Oscars season when it came out. So people are watching it like we're doing now for the films of the Oscars.
Yeah.
Watching it ahead of the Oscars. So that's probably why. Yeah, that's it. Have you got anything more to say about Manchester by the Sea, the incredible film that it is?
No, I'm done on this. I think well,
Critical 3.
Seeing as we've done, yeah, I was about to say there's one last bit, Critical 3.
Yeah.
I think me and the audience kind of know what yours is. I'll let you say it.
3.
3, of course, is Critical 3.
Critical 3.
Obviously, we don't do halves, do we?
You can do half if you want. Or no, we did what
No,
we
we
did.
don't do
What
halves.
I did. To be fair, what I did last on Tom Hardy one was a good 2 dinner or whatever,
Yeah.
a strong 2. So you can put it in for a strong 2 if you want, or a strong 1.
Yeah, see, because I don't want to be too harsh, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to. I'll give it a strong 1. I'm sorry, a strong 1, just because.
So basically,
questioned it a lot.
you wouldn't recommend it.
No, if let's say now my dad come up and says, right, I want a film to watch, I wouldn't turn around and say Manchester by the Sea. That's
All right,
just
then.
me. That's just me.
Right, let's move on before I hit you through the screen.
maybe
so
I could recommend this one.
yes, well, you haven't watched it yet, so you can't recommend it. But Gone Baby Gone is the next one, isn't it?
It is GPG, Gone Baby Gone.
Now you haven't seen that, have you?
I haven't seen this one. This is again another Casey Affleck movie.
Of course, that's what the Casey Affleck special is for.
Yeah. I have watched the ending though, and you did give me a 6-minute, 60-second brief of the whole entire film.
Yeah, I did like a lowdown, 60-second lowdown of the entire film for her.
Yeah. So yeah.
Because after watching Manchester by the Sea, I had a bad taste in your mouth about Casey Affleck, didn't you?
I did, and I kind of wanted you in this 7-minute ending clip to turn it around. Yeah. So I'll stop pen. Over to you.
Yeah, so Gone Baby Gone. I watched it for second time this morning. I'd watched it obviously once before, only about a year ago,
Okay.
even. So I watched it again with my parents actually this morning, and they really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I'm going to do ratings first on this, just so I have something to build off of.
Like the critical.
No, in terms of
Okay.
what
Yeah.
kind of was given for it.
Yeah,
So with IMDb, we got a 7.7.
Was that higher than Manchester?
That was lower by 0.1.
Right.
And that's out of 10, obviously.
Okay.
Rotten Tomato, 94%. Again, 2% lower than Manchester by the Sea.
Still pretty high though.
Still high, still very high for Rotten Tomato again. And 4 out of 5 on Empire.
Okay.
Magazine Empire, 4 out of 5. In terms of budget, box office, again, we'll get this out of the way. Budget was 19 million US dollars.
Okay. So a lot more than Manchester.
Yeah, about 10 mil. Yeah. And box office made 34.6 million. So only really doubled it.
Yeah. Hey, so I'm surprised at that, especially coming from obviously you direct the film and the cast as well.
Yeah, so Ben Affleck directed it and wrote the screenplay. alongside somebody else, but can't remember his name. And Morgan Freeman's in it.
Yeah. Again, no great actor.
So yeah, like you, I thought that it'd be more because Morgan Freeman tends to be like a driver of audience, doesn't he, for
Yeah.
people? That's literally when I said to my mum and grandma, I was like, "Oh, we'll watch this," and they're like, "Oh, what is it?" Oh, it's got Casey Affleck in. They were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we'll watch it." Oh, it's got Morgan Freeman in. Oh, yeah, we'll definitely watch it then. I was like,
Yeah.
"Really? Is that big of a? Does he have
Yeah.
that big of an impact on films?"
Yeah.
And apparently, yeah. But yeah, so. In terms of kind of the genre of the film, it's kind of like a crime investigation film. Just to sum it up, as the trailer would, um, there's a girl in it, little girl. She goes missing. So basically, Casey Affleck's character and his girlfriend, they are missing person specialists. They like to search on that, but they're nothing to do with the police. All they really are for is the fact that they know a lot about the neighborhood. They grew up in the neighborhood. In I think you said it was Boston, wasn't it?
Yeah. Sounds like obviously like the cast from Boston.
Yeah. So it's all about the fact that he kind of grew up in Boston. He knows everybody. He knows everybody. He knows how it all works.
Yeah.
Some people don't talk to the police. So he kind of has that insight. He can talk to those people that don't normally talk to the police.
Yeah.
So basically, that's what it's about. And there is, I'm not going to spoil it in any way, but there is a very big decision at the end, and it's kind of a moral decision to make. Now, watch it and put down in the comments below if you've watched it already or you haven't watched it and you're going to go and watch it. Let me know what your decision would be. I would personally go with how Casey Affleck went with it. That's all I'm going to say.
So you'd go with the ending.
I would go with how it goes. Yeah.
Obviously,
There's an alternative.
I'm not going to spoil the ending either.
You
Obviously,
kind of grasp it, don't you?
yeah, I watched the ending just to kind of get a view on kind of Josh's point and again just to know that bit about the film. I was conflicted, but I think it kind of goes on how your morals are. Really, again, not giving too much away. My kind of morals lean towards the same choice that you made, Josh.
Yeah.
Even though.
Yeah.
Even though.
Yeah, but no, don't say anymore, mate.
I know, I
can't say anymore.
No. But yeah, it leads to you. I was on your side on that one.
In terms of how familiar it is to a real life situation. Now, obviously, missing person, missing child, Madeleine McCann. That's the first probably one you think about, isn't it? When you think of a missing child.
Yeah.
Obviously never found. And obviously it was to do with it was kind of neglect on the parents' side of things, wasn't it? Because they left her in the hotel room, which is very similar to how this is, because basically the mum is a cocaine addict. And she leaves.
We say Madeleine McCann's mum.
Oh no! In the film, okay. The mum is a cocaine addict, and she leaves the apartment, and basically in that time, her daughter gets kidnapped or goes missing. Goes missing. We'll go missing because that's how it is in the film. But that's very similar, isn't it, to Madeleine McCann's story? And it is very similar. Obviously, the girl's got blonde hair. There's a lot of similarities to Madeleine McCann.
So, do you think that drew inspiration then?
Maybe, because it is one of the that is Madeleine McCann is one of the most still to this day everyone talks about it. It comes up every now and then, doesn't it? With a new thing to do with it, new search or exactly. So yeah, it's where with the film then it's where your morals would lie if that was the case with the film. That if you think it like that puts a twist on the Madeleine McCann case as well. But I'm not going to really go into that because that's all conspiracy and stuff in it. But Gone Baby Gone, powerful, brilliant acting from everybody in it. There's one detective in it as well. There's the two detectives that are kind of looking into the case. And there's one in particular that kind of makes to the end. He's very good in it. And yeah, just overall, mate, I enjoyed the film a lot. And I enjoyed it as much. Maybe a little bit less than the second time, just purely because I knew how the ending happened. So I didn't I'd already kind of
Didn't have
come
that
up with.
suspense kind of.
Yeah, didn't have the suspense, and I didn't have
Yeah.
kind of like the moral dilemma for myself because I'd already made that moral dilemma. Yeah, so yeah, but it's very much the ending's very much moral. You know, you
Yeah.
can make two decisions, and
Yeah,
it would
definitely,
reflect on your personality.
yeah, I think definitely kind of the way morals lie within society. I think. Yeah, obviously, like I said, I can't really say too much about this film just because I've not watched it. Obviously, from everything that you've said and from watching the ending myself, it's definitely obviously totally different film from Manchester by the Sea. Obviously, you said this is similarities in that, or would you just say that's more of Casey Affleck's acting style?
He's very obviously every actor has a style, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he's very similar to how he's in Manchester by the Sea.
Okay.
But he doesn't have the awkward aspect about him.
Right.
He's very confident because obviously, like I say, in the Boston neighborhood, the reason why he's a Mr. Percy detective is because he knows everyone.
Yeah.
So it's a guy that that guy, like you know that mate that always like, oh, I know the bouncers, mate. We'll get in here to the club. You know what I mean? He's like that guy. You know, he knows everybody.
Bit more talkative.
Bit more
lively.
Yeah, and not necessarily lively.
No.
I didn't say that. But he does have kind of a quirkiness about him. Yeah. The scenes in Manchester by the Sea, isn't there? Was like the bar scenes.
They were great. He
goes on a bit of a.
I did like the bar scenes.
Again, he does a similar sort of thing in Gone Baby Gone, which is maybe why they casted him in Manchester by the Sea.
What, just for the bar scene?
Yeah, well, they obviously took it from it that obviously can kind of do that sort of thing. And I think in terms of Manchester by the Sea, the bar scenes do kind of build a lot to the character.
Yeah.
Because it shows his frustration with inside, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. You know that he likes it in a sense.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. That's him getting a release.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I'm glad we agree on that little bit there. That bar scene.
They're good. Yeah. Good little builders. But yeah, that's all really I can say about Gone Baby Gone because just go and watch it.
Yeah.
It's I'd say a strong 2.
Strong
for that.
2.
Strong 2, yeah, because no, scratch that. 3. Critical 3. I'm going to give it a critical 3. Because 3. I would 100% say go and watch it now.
Yeah. Oh, no
question. No question. Just go and watch it because it's an investigation. Right down my alley, mate. You know, like Saw and that. I know it's obviously not got torture scenes in it, but I like the crime stuff. I like having to figure out something in my head.
The CSI aspect, the questions.
Yeah, and again, it's one of the few films that actually baffled me a bit. Normally, I'm quite good with stuff like that. Don't mean to brag, but normally I'm quite good with working stuff out. But that along with Saw, again, that was another one that baffled me. But that baffled me too. So that's why I enjoyed the ending so much first time round. But again, why it annoyed me as well because I couldn't work it out.
Well, like I said, I won't give it a rating. I can't just because I've not seen it. So yeah, we've got a critical 3 on that.
What was that? You said you're going to give it a critical 3. Nice one. Yeah, go check it out, boys. Go check it out, boys and girls. Yeah, good stuff.
Okay, it's got a critical 1 just because it's got Casey Affleck in it. Oh, I'm joking. So obviously kind of wrapping this up. I enjoyed elements of Manchester by the Sea. I am, should I say, slightly interested a bit more in Gone Baby Gone, obviously, before doing this. Like, what I am now than what I was before actually watching Manchester by the Sea. Especially now I know the ending anyway. It's Casey Affleck actor as me. Casey Affleck as an actor for me. There we go. Trying to get my words out. He's an okay actor. I was watching him, and I just couldn't. Me personally, I couldn't get American Pie out of my head, which irritated me a bit because I didn't want to think that. But I kind of feel that for him as an actor, there's going to be a film or role out there that will just be outstanding. I think
he won an Oscar for Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Obviously, again, it was Oscar season. Look at the ratings it got, and I think I think there's a role out there that will kind of elevate him, that will kind of make him a bit more of a, shall I say, household name. You know, Ben Affleck is. You know, you could pick quite a lot of performance Ben Affleck, and people are going to know straight away. Casey Affleck, not as much.
Yeah. Now,
I think he can do better than what he's done, even though obviously these are two great films of his, and what has been praised by movie critics as well. So, yeah, that's me.
All good, yeah. I think. Do you like Ben Affleck as an actor? Have you seen Gone Girl?
No, I was going to mention that earlier. I didn't.
Yeah, because that's a similar sort of thing.
Yeah. Again, I think he didn't write. It's an adaptation of a book, but he directed that one, I believe. Right. I'm sure.
Yeah, he self-starred it.
Yeah, I was supposed to go cinema to that. I never did. But yeah, I do like Ben Affleck. Obviously, the best thing I actually enjoyed Ben Affleck is I love his Batman portrayal. I'm gutted that he's not Batman. Again, it's a totally different thing. Subject for another video.
Yeah.
But yeah, wrapping this up, Casey Affleck, he's okay. I think I could watch him in small doses, unless it was that one film.
Yeah, I think you enjoy Gone Baby Gone, mate.
Yeah.
It is, like I say, it's a different acting style that he does use. Because, like I say, in Manchester by the Sea, it's socially awkward. Yeah. In Gone Baby Gone, it's not. Yeah. So it is different acting style, but it's the same acting style, different character. There you go.
Do you know what I'd like to see him in? I'd like to see him in an action film.
Yeah, maybe.
Put him in action film. Put him kind of, someone who's kind of in control.
That's a shout. It was in 999. It was in a film called 999, and he was a police officer in that.
Might have to look at that then.
Yeah, that was actually good. That had Norman Reedus in out of Walking Dead, and the guy plays Falcon in Avengers as well.
Yeah.
And it had what's his name as well? Oh no, the guy out of Zombieland and War of the Planet of the Apes. Bob Guy.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? Is it Woody?
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson. That's it.
Yeah. It's got him in it as well.
Yeah.
And he's a detective in it. That's a good film. Go and check that out. I would give that a critical. Just while we're here, I'd give that a critical 2, but kind of like a medium one, because it's okay. I wouldn't go and dance and shout about on the street, but it's okay.
So we've got an extra critical. We're not even talking about the film. There we go. It's a little bonus feature for you, not there.
You go, mate.
Yeah. So definitely wrapping this one. Again, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. I have. It's a bit more. This is a bit more of the serious talk. Obviously, rather than our news ones.
All right, mate, I need to go for a week. Can you wrap it up quicker?
Yep, great, ruined it there. Yeah, anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. And obviously, this is our Casey Affleck special. Tune into our next one. I'm not sure we should kind of decide what our next one is.
Well, we've got 3, haven't we, that we're thinking about? Jack Nicholson, Christian Bale, and Jim Carrey.
You know what, guys? Comment below, leave us a message.
Which one you see first?
Which one do you want to see? Obviously, Jim Carrey, Christian Bale, or Jack Nicholson. Obviously, we would end up talking quite a lot about Batman, which is something I'm kind of excited to talk about anyway. But yeah, anyway, thanks guys. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave comments down below of all that we talked about. Have fun in the comments.
Yeah.
See you in there. Like, subscribe.
Yeah, great. I'm happy with that. Peace out.
Peace.